Hey everybody, welcome to RCAM. I'm your host Ryan, and thank you for tuning in today. So today we are going to be talking about the show that is taking the internet by storm, Cuties. And I'm sure if you haven't already, you probably have heard by now a lot about this film. And I first heard about it about a little over a month ago. Netflix released a promo, a poster featuring scantily clad 11-year-olds in their poster in sexually suggestive positions. And I was initially pretty disturbed. They received a lot of backlash, and they ended up pulling the poster and basically making a statement that this is not indicative of what the actual film represents. And at that point, it didn't really matter anymore, because they already did something that, in my opinion, would directly contradict the message that they claim to be putting across. So some people gave them the benefit of the doubt and said, maybe it's not as bad as that poster made it out to be. And now this past week, the film has released, and we have discovered that not only is it not as bad, but it's worse. It's worse than what we thought it would be. The film just sounds awful, and this isn't coming from just me, but a lot of people on the internet have found it deeply troubling. Even some of my liberal-minded friends, and typically we disagree with on everything, we agree on this. We agree that this is inappropriate and deeply disturbing. And I myself did not watch the film, but I had a friend tag me in a post of somebody who did watch the film, and I want to read to you guys her breakdown of the film, because it is eye-opening, and it is just, in my opinion, disturbing. So remember, as we go into this, these are 11-year-old girls being depicted in the film, played and portrayed by actual 11-year-old girls. So keep this in mind. All right, so this post was brought to us by a Samantha Steinhoff. Thank you, Samantha. I'm sorry you had to go through this, and but we appreciate you taking one for the team. So it goes on to say, she says, long post, but it needs to be shared. Made the choice to watch Cuties on Netflix, hoping it wouldn't be as bad as it sounded. Well, I took notes of watching it, and here's how it went. While watching it, and here's how it went. The opening scene is a close-up of an 11-year-old girl with full face makeup who looks scared and sad. Okay, nothing crazy here. A few minutes into the movie, there's a scene where another 11-year-old girl is shaking her butt and wearing tight leather pants and a crop top. So this is probably where I could stop reading, because this is enough for me to say, oh, yeah, I don't have any desire to watch something like that, and no 11-year-old girl should be depicted in that type of way, period. I don't care what the point is that you're making, but I'm going to keep reading. So next, a whole group of these children are in the schoolyard wearing skin-tight miniskirts and crop tops. Now this little girl is hiding under the bed crying, listening to her mom cry and slap herself. Back to the group of 11-year-olds wearing inappropriate clothing. Now they're cursing and throwing rocks at other little girls. Now these girls are talking about sex, talking about blowjobs, rape, and how they've seen one of their brother's penises and how it wasn't that long. I apologize, guys. This is what it says, so I'm just reading it verbatim. Time to sneak into the boys' bathroom and try to video a boy peeing. So now these girls are recording a boy peeing. Lovely stuff here. Next, they're having a pillow fight in bed. And then watch a dance video where a girl flashes her breast. And now these children are talking about how flat the other child's butt is and breasts are, and smacking their rear end. Not to mention all of the close-ups of these children's butts that keep being shown. So you have these, think about this, guys, 11-year-old kids. We have producers showing close-ups of this. Not at all appropriate, period. This 11-year-old is now watching a video of a woman dancing in thongs and then checking out the women's butts as they are walking by. Now one of them plays with a condom, so now we have 11-year-old kids playing with condoms. And then they move on to sexing with strangers online. And now she clarifies, only halfway through the movie at this point, and now these 11-year-old girls are learning how to twerk and grind and hump the floor and smacking each other's butts with a lot of close-ups of their butts. All right, I can't anymore. I thought I could. I can't make it through this. You can look up the post and read it for yourself. I actually don't recommend watching. I know you're going to hear people recommend watching this. I actually don't recommend watching it because it just, I don't think you're going to get anything from it that you wouldn't get from this. And there are lots of synopsises out there of people making generally the same, observing the same things in the film. Very, very disturbing. And one argument I'm seeing against it is that, you know, the film is actually making a statement against the sexualization of children. And you can make that statement, but you don't need to actually sexually exploit children while doing so. It kind of loses the purpose of what you're trying to get at. I remember several years ago, I saw a movie called Don John, and they were making a statement against pornography. Except there was one problem. They repeatedly showed pornography throughout the film, which they didn't have to do. They did not actually have to show porn to make a statement against porn. In the same way, we don't have to show depictions of violent sex acts to make a statement against violent sex acts or rape. We don't have to do that. And the fact that this film uses 11-year-old children to make that statement, to me, is very disturbing because they actually show them doing sexually suggestive acts. Think about it. They had to take, parents had to take their children to audition for this, and they had to do this in front of people. 11-year-olds, guys. Little girls. And now they're on the internet. Now they're on Netflix for millions of people all over the world to see. And you're telling me this is okay? You're telling me that this is acceptable? It's in no way. Sorry, guys. It's in no way, shape, or form okay. And we should not accept this. We should adamantly reject it. And if that means canceling your Netflix subscription, small price to pay. Because we should not be giving Netflix a single cent if this is the type of content that they're going to put out. Absolutely not. And that's where I stand with this. And I think it's a stand that most people should make, but we live in a culture that's so desensitized to this stuff where they think it's okay, that they don't have any problem with it. But thankfully, the overwhelming majority of the nation has recognized, no, they're going too far. They're going way too far. And they've rejected it. And as a result, Netflix, I think, has lost about $9 billion since people have been calling for canceling Netflix. And hopefully Netflix does the right thing and they remove this film and they say, we're never again going to feature content like this. Ever. And then they apologize for making such a huge misstep to begin with. And part of me wonders, like, was it really a misstep? Netflix knew what this was, and they believe they actually had an audience for it. And the sad reality is they did. Many people watch this film. There are major media corporations tripping over themselves to celebrate this and come to the defense of this. And I think that is really, really disturbing. And it says a lot about the media and the state they're in, and a lot about our culture. We need to be people who are willing to rise above this culture and speak out against what this is and call it what it is: evil. This is evil. Exploiting little girls is evil. Having little girls dance on stage in sexually suggestive positions is evil. It's wrong, it's disgusting, it's disturbing, and we should want no part in it. Absolutely not. So, kudos to all of you guys who have canceled your Netflix subscriptions. And I encourage you guys to keep speaking out against this. If you come across any helpful information, definitely share it. And I appreciate you guys taking the time to watch this. God bless all of you. Deuces.